ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin. This is my co-host Teddy. I have changed microphone, so I'll just be figuring it out for the next few videos while I get it dialed in really nice, but it should be an upgrade over the last one I was using. And today we're going to be checking out a power supply, doing an unboxing and overview, and it's this guy right here, the Thermaltake Toughpower DPS G 750 watt gold rated RGB power supply. Now you might be thinking, well Kevin, you just did an unboxing overview of a Thermaltake Toughpower power supply the other day. Yes, that was the Grand, and we're going to be checking out this guy, the DPS G, today, and I'm going to go over the differences between them a bit later on in the video. But let's just get into it with the unboxing first. So as I said in the previous video, a lot of people, one of the biggest, it's not really a mistake because you always want to have to go a little bit too much with your power supply and have too much power than do the opposite and have not enough, which is what some people end up doing. But yeah, a lot of people take that mentality and just go way too far with it, and they just go absolutely too overkill with a power supply. Now 750 watt like this will be plenty enough for the vast majority of you guys out there. So firstly, we see, just like in the other one, see the manuals and stuff like that, all of that fun stuff. Now this is a modular power supply, so it does come with the separate cables. We'll look through. I doubt they'll be any different to the ones we got in the Grand, but you never know. We'll have a look through. Okay. So we have, oh, they're all wrapped up nice and pretty. Okay, so we have a little cable down here, USB 2. Okay, so this will be to plug into your motherboard. This will be so you can monitor things. Power cable, pretty much what we would always expect. Then in the big bag, we have all the standard stuff you would like to see. So your PCI connectors, power connectors, 6 pins and 8 pins. Those will be for your graphics card. SATA connectors, that's always good to see. Nice ones for your power supplies, hard drives I should say, and your SSDs and all that stuff. Molex connectors, and your motherboard power and CPU power and all of that stuff. So all very standard here, nothing out of the ordinary. They are quite nice. I like these flat cables like they've done. That's always good to see. That just keeps it nice and neat. Now let's take this foam off here and get the power supply out. So I have not actually taken this out at all. As you can see, it's all still in its covers like that. Take this off for you guys because you like to see it. So this looks very similar to the Grand that I just did the unboxing of. Very similar indeed. Oh, you have the USB connector up there. I believe that wasn't on the Grand. I may be mistaken. Oh, and there's no smart button for the fan around the back. That's another thing I've noticed. There might be others, but I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Oh, let's put this down. Okay, so let's talk about this power supply and what it comes with. So let's start with the rating then. So 80 plus gold, that's very good. That's sort of like a good mid-ground, a gold-rated power supply. That's going to be very good for a lot of you guys out there who don't want to spend too much on a power supply but still want something really solid. Gold is a very nice sort of middle of the ground, is selling it short. You know what I mean in terms of ratings. As I said before, 750 watt, that is more than enough for the vast amount of you guys out there. More than enough. Let's move up to the fan then. So this is their concentrated compression fan blade design. So this is optimized for static pressure. What that means is you want fans like that to push air through tightly compacted areas. Those are the types of fans you want to run on a radiator if you're running a liquid cooler, or on your heatsink if you're running an air cooler. They're very good at stuff like that, as opposed to airflow fans, which are just meant to blow a lot of air into like an open space, like into your case. It's also RGB, so that's good. So you're going to probably want to run this power supply up if you want to see all that RGB goodness. That's, as I said in the previous power supply unboxing I did, that's its own debate. whether up or down is better in terms of what your fan is facing, but for the sake of these ones I suggest you run them up so you get to see all that RGB goodness. Now it's coming with 100% high quality Japanese capacitors. That's really good in terms of reliability. We'll talk about that massive warranty in a second. And it's coming with a 32-bit microcontroller. Now aside from that, as you see around the back, that's where all the cables will go in. It's practically the same as the Grand in pretty much all the ways. It's going to be very good for your late model, I'll say, Intel CPUs such as Skylake and Kaby Lake. They are very funny when it comes to you know, getting like little ripples and stuff. They just require very good power going to them. So it's going to be great for that. It's going to have very low power ripple, which will be great for overclockers and plenty of other things. But in terms of the difference between this and the Grand, in terms of their like capacitors and circuitry and that, they're practically the same. So then you're probably thinking, well, what is the point? Why did they make two? So that is where the main difference is. Obviously, they're both modular and they both come with a 10-year warranty. Yeah, you heard me right. 10-year warranty. Absolutely crazy. But the big difference is that the Grand is an analog power supply and the DPS G is a digital power supply. So I don't want to make it too complicated for you guys, but I'll try to explain it the best way I can. So basically, digital power supplies, they don't really dissipate the power because that creates a lot of waste. Instead, they have, you know, more lighter, smaller transistors using smaller parts that work more efficiently. So that's really good. Basically, it's hard to explain in a very basic way. Maybe someone in the comments would be able to explain this in a very simple way for those of you out there that don't understand the difference between analog and digital power supply. But yeah, I'll just say it's better to have a digital. That's the easiest way to put it. The other big advantage of running a digital power supply is the fact that you can use software to monitor it and control it much more easily. So that's really good there. It has much more expanded functionality, and that's usually the big selling point for a digital power supply over an analog power supply. And that's the case with this one too. So you get better controls of the power supply. You notice it didn't have the smart fan button on the back there. That's not for the fact that this doesn't have it, because it does. The fact that you can turn off this power supply fan so it's not, you know, it doesn't make any noise, because nobody likes a noisy power supply. But it means you can do it in software. You don't actually have to physically push the button. You can do it in software, which is cool. And it has access to the full SPM, the Smart Power Management support software, and that whole suite. So that's good for those of you out there. Maybe gamers aren't going to be as interested in that, but people in the industry especially may be more interested in it. The fact that you can keep an eye on the power and you know, make savings where you can in terms of turning things off and just keeping an eye on it. So that's really good. And overall, what would I say if you're out there looking and you can't decide between the DPS G or the Grand? So I'd say, unless there's a very specific reason why you would require a digital power supply, you're probably better off going for the Grand, because it's pretty much the same thing, but you lose a lot of the smart functionality, for lack of a better word. You lose just some of that digital functionality that some people would like, that enthusiasts might like, especially to be able to keep an eye on things. If that isn't a big problem for you, if you're someone that just doesn't care about the software side of it at all, and you just want to chuck the power supply in and that's all you want, you just don't want to have to worry about anything else, then yeah, the Grand might be the better one for you. However, if you're an enthusiast and you do care about those things, or you just really want a digital power supply, then check out the DPS G instead, because, well, both of them are going to be absolutely fantastic, but that'll be the one that's more suitable for you. Now, I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.